Good morning and welcome to Gospel Bytes, where we take a bite at the Gospel for the day. Today is Thursday, August 7th. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. Glory to you, O Lord. This is from Matthew chapter 16, verses 13 to 23. When Jesus came into the district of Caesarea Philippi, he asked his disciples, "Who do people say that the Son of Man is?" And they said, "Some say John the Baptist, but others Elijah, and still others Jeremiah or one of the prophets." He said to them, "But who do you say that I am?" Simon Peter answered, "You are the Messiah, the Christ, the Son of the living God." And Jesus answered him, "Blessed are you, Simon, son of Jonah, for flesh and blood has not revealed this to you, but my Father in heaven. And I tell you, you are Peter, and on this rock I will build my church, and the gates of Hades will not prevail against it. I will give you the keys of the kingdom of heaven, and whatever you bind on earth will be bound in heaven, and whatever you loose on earth will be loosed in heaven." Then Jesus sternly ordered the disciples not to tell anyone that he was the Messiah, the Christ. From that time on, Jesus began to show his disciples that he must go to Jerusalem and undergo great suffering at the hands of the elders and chief priests and scribes, and be killed, and on the third day be raised. And Peter took him aside and began to rebuke him, saying, "God forbid it, Lord, this must never happen to you." But Jesus turned and said to Peter, "Get behind me, Satan. You are a stumbling block to me, for you are setting your mind not on divine things, but on human things." The Gospel of the Lord. Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ. All right, so we hear the story of Jesus calling Peter at one time. He called him the rock. No? Simon, he called Peter the rock. And then after a few moments, a few verses later, he called him Satan. Why is that? Why was the abrupt change in the attitude towards Peter? First, Peter professed he was the Messiah, and that was from God. That was something that was revealed to Simon Peter. But then later on, Jesus spoke about his suffering, the things that he had to go through. And Peter said, "No, I'm not going to let you suffer. This is not something that you are going to do." And because of that, Jesus called him Satan. "Get behind me, Satan." What was the turning point of that? You know, for Peter, he accepted Jesus as the Messiah, I guess thinking of the kingdom, the promise of um, power, the gates of heaven, even hell will not be able to prevail against this church that Jesus is building. And so that's why Peter understood this is the kind of Messiah I'm looking for. But someone who's going to suffer, that he could not take. And I think this is uh, the avoidance of suffering at all costs. It's not something that is just bad, but it's almost like it's really bad. Like it's almost like demonic. That if you think about it, when we try to do to achieve something the easy way, with all the way of avoiding suffering, then a lot of times it turns into really evil things. For example, you have a pregnant woman, a young woman, who knows the suffering, the pain, and the discomfort of becoming a mother. So she resorts to abortion. You know? She takes the easy way out, abortion. At school, you have a child who's too lazy to study. Said, well, I don't want to study. It's too hard. I'll just cheat. Uh, Um, Euthanasia is an escape from the inconvenience of old age and sickness. I don't want to suffer, so I might as well you can just put me to sleep. It's an escape from suffering. uh, And there are many other things. It's like um, every time we choose the easy way out, uh, it leads to something bad. And sometimes this is we're tempted to do this. Uh, and sometimes you want to get a quick money, so we either steal or we do immoral work, uh, and our own integrity and dignity is at stake. And I think this is what Satan is present at that time too. He was tempting Jesus. See, you have someone here who's going to protect you. You don't need to suffer. Peter is going to prevent you from suffering. And Jesus said, no, true love always demands suffering. You know, Normally, we won't know if we truly love someone if we don't suffer for that person. And uh, at the Garden of Gethsemane, where Jesus could have easily run away, save himself, I'm sure Satan was there too, trying to tempt him. So I think if we can devote our sufferings, we all go through sufferings. Um, we all go through pain, sometimes grief. Uh, and when we avoid suffering at all costs, um, eventually it will lead to probably more suffering. Yeah. But let's never forget that suffering can also become sacrifice. When we offer our suffering for somebody or for something, then it becomes a sacrifice. I could fast for the conversion of the world. uh, I could withhold any comfort or pleasure for myself and offer for it for uh, uh, maybe someone who is sick. I can fast from television or um, my computer time and offer some prayers for souls in purgatory. You know, Great love was expressed through great suffering. When Jesus suffered, the greatest suffering, and because of his love for us. Uh, Imagine if Jesus did not suffer, we won't be saved. There's no hope for us. So, whenever you're suffering, whatever kind of suffering it may be, don't dispel it immediately as something that is evil. Perhaps God is calling you to offer it for a certain intention, maybe for your children who don't go to Mass, or your friends who are lost or slaves to addictions. Don't let our sufferings go to waste. Rather, turn them into sacrifice. I'm Father Jerry Sembrano for another edition of Gospel Bites. God bless you. Have a nice day.